I'm Saula Bonikita. Everyone calls me Sunny, or Sunny Cooper. I'm 19 and I'm from Lithuania. I'm born in Kaunas. My mom got a letter, I think, and she got told to come to like this office, like immigration office. They said like we just want to speak to you, and then like my mom brought me, my sister, and my stepdad, and then all of a sudden they're like, we're putting you basically in custody. Like we're gonna detain you.
Sunni and her family moved from Lithuania to Illinois, USA in 2005 to search for a better life. After 2 years living in the US, Sunni and her family were detained in 2007. This was due to the fact they'd been living there without permission from the US government. Sunni was only 9.
And my mom, like, it was like, I think like for 24 hours we sat in this room, like, there was like just waiting. And then they took us to this like office, and then like my mom was speaking to this one guy, and he was like, my mom was like, is there any way we can get out of this? And he was like, well, we could put your daughters into 2 different orphanages, and then we'll deport you, and then you can never see them again, basically, until like they're 18 and they can find you. Or all 3 of you are gonna go to this detention center in Texas, and you're gonna like, then we'll decide what to do with you.
They were sent to the T. Don Hutto Family Residential Facility in Texas, a converted prison which was not an appropriate place for a 9-year-old and her 14-year-old sister.
You'd wake up and it's like 3 of you in one room, and you get 2 like metal bunk beds, and there's 2 of them, and then like a bed on the floor, which is where my mom slept, and then the toilet's in there. So you'd probably wake up, then they'd take you to go get a shower, which you'd have like 1 minute to do, and it'll always be cold water. And then they'd take you to breakfast, and you'd have like barely any time to eat. The food was always like really inedible. And then I think after breakfast, you mainly just hung around in like the block, because sometimes you get like an hour of school, and that was just kind of coloring. It was a bit just, there's no excitement. And then maybe like once a week you'd get to go like outside in this like courtyard, and like, oh, you get to throw a ball around for an hour, and then you can go back inside.
The number of people in government custody for immigration law violations increased by 79% from 2005, the year Sunni entered the US. Sunni and her sister were treated like prisoners as opposed to innocent children, whilst not knowing the outcome of their fate.
I think the biggest impact is the fact that when I was 9 years old, they noticed that I have depression because of everything that happened. And yeah, then I got diagnosed when I was, I think, near year 10, but I've had it for like years before it. Just took a while to like diagnose. I think that's the main one. And there's still a lot of trauma. Like, it's really difficult to talk about. And I know whenever I have to like read about it, I break down. Because it's just like, most of my childhood is just blacked out because of like stuff that's happened. And especially like, what happened in the detention center. Like, I couldn't remember most of it. Like, one time I like completely forgot it happened, and then I mentioned it to my mom, and she like told me some stuff, and then like I read the case report, and I just like, I couldn't believe it. And then as you like start to read it, it like comes back to memory, and you're like, no. It's like, this can't be true. But I think it's just, yeah, it's mainly the trauma and just like all the mental health issues that just come with it. Because you're 9, you get put in that environment, and then no one does anything. It's just, yeah, you're left alone for years.
The T. Don Hutto Family Residential Facility was closed in 2009 after it was proven that family detention could not be carried out humanely. With attitudes across the world becoming vehemently anti-immigration, care and action must be taken to prevent families from experiencing what Sunni and her family tragically went through.
No, I do sympathize with them. I feel like it's just, I find it stupid, because I don't really think it should matter like where you're from. I mean, most societies are built from mixing cultures and races. It's just